Looks like we are going to be hopping right into game 2. Puck versus Catz. Catz is currently up 1-0. We are on Polar Knight right now.
And Puck picked Polar Knight. It's loser pick, right?
Yeah.
Puck picked Polar Knight, but this is another situation where that's good against a lot of Zerg players because it's really hard to take a third base on this map. But again, Catz.
Doesn't need the third base.
How much does it really punish him? This is a great map for two-base Sling and Fester kind of stuff because as hard as it is for Zerg to take a third, it's also very difficult for Protoss to take a third.
Definitely.
And that's the kind of thing, that's where Catz excels. If anything, I think you pick like Frost or some big macro map and go for a three-base Protoss Death Ball.
Sure.
I think that would be the better option against someone like Catz specifically, not against Zerg in general.
Definitely. We have Catz starting off in the southern base in this game, and then up at the 12 o'clock position we have Puck. I wonder if Catz will go for a two-base. This is a really good two-base map. There's a lot of room in the main.
I would be very surprised if he didn't. Even more macro-oriented players often go for two-base stuff on here. The double upgrade Ling build, I think, is quite strong on here, just because having a bunch of strong Lings gives you so much map control on something that is open and as counterattack prone as a map like this. It's just very hard for Protoss to actually secure any kind of bases, get any kind of map presence. If they don't do a Colossus all-in, there's not a whole lot they can do to hurt you either. I don't know. I would like to see something like that out of Catz, but seeing him do the Swarm Host Queen Infester thing again would be pretty amusing as well.
Sure.
I'm really surprised Puck played a style that is so
conventional,
poor against Catz, and then was caught so off guard by his unusualness. Like, figure he lived in a house with him for however long, was on a team,
and I'm sure has ran into him on ladder.
Plus that
over and over again. Pretty interesting.
You figure he'd be more familiar with it.
Yeah. Especially when Catz is going out of his way. Sometimes Catz, I don't know if he does it every ZVP, but I know he says he likes to 13 drone scout, and he has done it now for the second game in a row against Puck. So Catz has a thumb exactly on the pulse of whatever Puck is doing. So it'll be interesting to see what Puck opts for this game. If he's going to go for a similar style, or if he's going to do something a little bit different.
Now that's interesting, because almost no Zergs actually drone scout in ZVP.
Yep.
Do you know what exactly he's looking for with the 13 drone scout? Or is it just generic scouting information to find out?
Yeah, I think it's just generic scouting. He's looking for maybe a second gas, although it wouldn't have gone down yet.
No.
Maybe a Forge or a Nexus.
He does almost always go hatch first, so it's important for him to know if a cannon rush could be happening or
Possibly.
not. So I suppose that.
Yeah. I mean, keeping the drone around to see the Nexus would be nice, but I don't think he brings that drone home.
Well, he also does hatch rate blocks a lot against Forge FEs. So he's
actually
doing one against
a
Gateway expansion.
So.
I have actually never seen this done before. I've never seen someone hatch rate block against Gateway expansion.
Sure.
There's a Zealot coming, but it's pretty common for Protoss to actually cancel that Zealot when they realize they're not being circling rushed.
Sure.
And if he does that blindly,
which
some Protosses do.
Not to mention, even with one Zealot, that hatchery's probably going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
I want to say that you would never let the hatchery finish, and you would just cancel it right when
I don't know, because you don't... Unless you pull probes, you don't have the option of putting down a couple of cannons like Forge FE Protosses normally do to clear it.
So you just let it finish and just take up all that time?
Yeah, because it's going to be there for long enough to get a queen out, and then if you get a couple of tumors down, you're not going to have any detection, so you either have to build a Panic Forge and a Pylon and a cannon, or get up to a Robo off of one base.
Sure.
This is actually, I don't know, this is almost better than doing it against Forge FE.
You would have to reinforce with Lings or something to get the tumor down, I think, though, because it'd be pretty easy to target fire the tumor.
Depends on the positioning, because what you can do is you can position your queen. That's interesting. You can position your queen in the mineral line, block off the Zealot, and then put a tumor on the other side.
Oh, sure. And then the Zealot gets stuck
before the Zealot actually gets to it.
Gotcha.
That's taking a third there taking your natural at the third base on a map like this. That's very, very difficult to defend. That's about as wide open as an expansion will get.
Especially against whatever Catz is going to be doing.
He doesn't have gas yet, though, so he's not really going to have the option to punish this for quite some time.
Yep. Overlord just now started. I don't think we're going to see a queen out of this hatchery. As funny as it might be, because he's going to be supply blocked for too long to get it out, I think.
I think he would have gone for it if he wasn't able to.
Block.
That's like half of the value of actually getting that hatchery down.
Yeah, definitely. If you get a tumor down there early against somebody who doesn't have a forge, that's a nightmare to deal with.
And he's going Stargate. Interesting to see if he goes Oracle, Void Ray, Phoenix. For a very, very long time, Puck basically only did this very strange two-base all-in Void Ray and Immortals. He really, really likes Void Ray openings, but this map obviously not as well set up for it. He's going to need something to give him a bit more map control.
That was so good. Catz
Oh, he got the scouting information.
Yeah, when the hatchery died, Catz actually ran all of his units past. He sees it with the overload anyway, but he ran all of his little fingers. What are they called?
Broodlings?
Broodlings. Yeah, he ran all of his little broodlings up the ramp to try to get in from the Stargate, which was nice, but I mean, again, he's going to see it anyway. 3-gate Stargate. Catz does see the expo down here, though. He's harassing that with lings that he made with his proxy hatchery, of course. Of course.
And there's actually no forge out on the map for Puck, so he can't put any cannons down. He does have the Nexus cannon available if he really needs it, but he doesn't want to spend that mana. He needs that available for recall, for more harassment later on. So that expansion is just pretty exposed. Luckily for him, there's no speedlings, or the expansion would just die.
Sure.
As is, he's still gonna. There's a lot more Zerglings coming across the map. Catz is actually kind of dedicating to harassing this with slow links, and he's going a very, very fast lair behind it. So if he can just keep Puck off guard with his linger aggression, whatever his lair tech is going to be, whether it's Spire, Infest, or whatever,
was able to pop the mana on the Mothership core, which was good in that harass. I'm not sure. This might be the first time in my life I've ever seen Mothership core having to call that out against non-speedlings. But
the Forge finally coming up, which is smart. Puck is just way too exposed. He really needs a cannon or two, especially that expansion. I'm not sure if he's going to try and take this natural, if he's going to try and do 2-base pressure. Taking a 3rd base while Catz is still on 2-base, and he's going quick Hydra. That's weird.
Sure. I mean, he did scout the...
He sees the Stargate, so I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just like a very weak 2-base Hydra timing, you can actually just fight that head-on with Phoenix and Zealots.
Possibly.
Like Graviton Beams.
Yeah.
Because it takes so long to actually get
a respectable number of Hydralisks.
And both upgrades.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you can get by with attacking with just one upgrade, with the range. Is okay-ish if you have enough.
It's a short map. His creep spread's not amazing, but it'll still get there reasonably fast. But, I don't know, those extra gateways are going to kick in time, and Hydras, even if they get there, they're still so squishy.
True. If Zealots ever get close, if they close the gap and they're in front of the Hydras, you're in a lot of trouble there.
He's not continuing Phoenix production, though. I kind of think he should have continued Phoenix production. They're a legitimate fighting force against a low number of Hydralisks.
Definitely. Interesting. Puck is in a really interesting spot.
He's going Robo. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't think it's going to kick in time to defend whatever the 2-base is going to be. And another Nidus.
Of course. So it looks like, judging from this Overlord position, Catz will be popping in back here with a Nidus.
Which is interesting, because that's actually going to run him right into the building wall that Puck is making in a very strange way.
If he can, if he
knocks
out
the Robo. The Robo's right there.
Or if he knocks out this pylon, I don't know if he would unpower both of these gateways. Is that in range of that pylon?
I think so, yeah. It would get at least one of them and the Robo. Yeah. The Robo is the big thing. He's going straight up to Colossus. That's not going to kick in in time for the first attack. Definitely it's going to be on these Zealots and Sentries. He doesn't have any or he has the one cannon there. And that's not protecting the important buildings. What's that? Is that the Robo Bay he's making right there? Oh, and Zergling's in the main. This is going to get pretty tough for Puck. Yeah. He's just too exposed.
Man, I mean, like, as you mentioned earlier, taking a third...
Going down now.
Yep, Nidus going down. Taking a third on this map is brutal, but having the third as your natural is, like, even worse.
Yeah, it is.
Jeez, man, you're just so split apart here. Catz has already managed to take out 12 workers this game. Just the needling away at his opponent over and over and over again has just got to be incredibly annoying. The Nidus Canal does finish. Oh, no, and Puck thinks it's in his main. He's pulling his whole... Oh, wait, is he?
He's just trying to save between.
Oh, he's just trying to save between. Okay. And we do have the Robo going down. I don't think he's going to get in position in time with those.
Oh, it's dead for sure. Yeah. He even cancels the clauses. He's going to get some Hydras for it,
That's good. Adrian needs to turn around and at least focus some sentries down, but it looks like he doesn't do it in time. We do have another Nidus. No, never mind, Lings.
I don't know. Puck is kind of stabilizing. He's getting to the point where he has enough work gates that they can actually fight Hydra. Hydraling is just not a very good army until you get a lot of Hydras.
Yeah.
He traded a Robo for that, but, I mean, at least he's alive. Catz isn't on the best deck, but I believe he had a Spire coming up, so he's price saving for a Muta switch, which is going to be really, really good, given how spread out Puck is. But Puck, actually, ahead in the mind games, he has 2 Stargates coming down. That's probably for Void Rays, but the moment he gets any hint of Spire tech, he can just switch into Phoenix.
Definitely.
No, he's producing Phoenix.
Yep.
So this is actually pretty bad for Catz, because he has 9 Mutas in production right now.
Possibly. This attack might be a large misstep, though. We have 9 Mutas about to come out. They will annihilate these sentries. Oh, but there are 3 Stalkers now, so it's
that many sentries plus Stalkers. Guardian Shield's still quite good against a low number of Mutas.
Definitely.
He can actually win a head-up fight there against that many Mutas.
Yep, with the 5 Stalkers here now for sure. 9 Mutas is not going to be enough to stop this without a significant number of links, too. We do see the Spine Crawlers going up to try to defend against this push. I'm not sure if they're going to finish in time.
He's just opting for a counterattack, but he's going to run into Phoenix. I'm not sure if there's many cannons in the main, though. I'm not sure if he's even going to be able to hold this, and if he can, it doesn't matter.
Maybe. If all 4 spines finish with that queen and the transfuse energy, as long as he doesn't lose any of the queens. Do have mutas in the main. I think with the drone pole being in time, he might...
They're going to just get force field. Oh, nope. He doesn't cast force fields. I don't know. Puck needs to be careful. He can't lose too many sentries to those.
We do have the Phoenix coming out, though. 4 Phoenix against only, what is this, 10 Mutalisks? 9 Mutalisks is pretty rough to micro against.
Yeah, the additional 2 Stargates are still producing. He will eventually be able to clear that. And I think all the Spine Crawlers are down now, so that army is just going to be unopposed. You can't trickle in Mutaling and actually beat that kind of army. So Catz is definitely in trouble here. I don't know. I don't think he can win from this point, because you got 2 Stargate Phoenix producing against Mutas. Those Zerglings are completely unupgraded.
And there's no answer to this army sitting right on top of his natural as well. So
he's going to go in for one last shot at clearing it up, but you definitely can't fight that army plus the Phoenix at the same time.
Yeah. Even without the Phoenix, you might have enough here to clear it, but with the Phoenix, there's just no way. Catz is going to go to try to do some damage with the natural, but...
He's just going to get chased down eventually by those Mutas, plus the ground army moving into the main. Still trying to counterattack with the natural, but... I don't know, it looks like that might be doing a little bit of damage, but there's a cannon there, so nothing too much is going to end up happening anyway.
I wonder if Catz was relying on Puck trying to retake his natural, you know, being 3-based before his aggression, because Puck did a really good job of holding everything up. I'm not sure if killing this robotic facility was worth it.
No, it wasn't.
He did lose like 4 or 5 Hydras, I think, taking it out.
Yeah. And Puck was pretty happy to just transition. It was a really smart switch into 3 Stargate there. There's just a really good read that he was going to switch into Mutas.
Sure. Or even if it didn't, I mean, like you said earlier, enough Phoenix against Hydras that aren't in a large number are still very, very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Especially when you couple that with Zealots with a couple of upgrades. I mean, Zealots deal with the Lings. Even if you've got, you know, 10 Phoenix against 20 Hydra, you know, you lift enough Hydras so they're not doing any damage, and then the Zealots just sweep in and clean up, so...
I think Catz was kind of just hoping that he could keep Puck off balance enough with the Nidus and then the Zergling run-bys, and then you just get enough Mutas up that it snowballs and you kind of take control of the map. But Puck had already secured the 3rd. He had his natural as like the easy expansion to defend, so that wasn't really going to be too much of a problem if the Mutas get going.
Definitely.
And it's such a small map that you're always very vulnerable to timings. It's not a good base race kind of map because you don't have a lot of space to work with, which is what you really need as the more mobile Mutaling kind of army.
Something that might be a little bit ironic, I wonder if Catz wouldn't have killed the robotics if Puck would have stayed on producing Colossus, and it would have made the Muta more effective.
I'm not sure.
If he would have just sent the Hydra to the back of the mineral field. Because I think... One thing
well,
that
if
I
he
noticed,
does that, he just force fields and kills the army, because there was not that many Hydra Ling. I don't know.
No, there weren't. But I'm saying instead of targeting the Robo, because the Hydras died anyway, if he would have just went for probes. One thing that I noticed about Protoss is that, I don't know why, but Protoss, when they go a certain tech path, they seem really committed to it. Like, if they build a Robo...
It's a pretty big investment. It feels kind of dumb to build a 200 building and then not make units out of it.
Even if it would be a better choice. You know, I've seen a lot of Protoss that will, when they're on a tech path, even if you, like, start to go Muta, like, even without a Hydra timing, like, they have the Robo down, it's really rare to see them just throw down 2 Stargates and start, you know, they're like, I'm going Robo, and, like, there's nothing I can, you know. So I kind of wonder, it's kind of funny, but...
More and more Protosses are starting to mix in air compositions. Like, they'll go the Robo to keep themselves alive, and then they'll switch into air. He may have done that anyway. It's hard to tell for sure without actually knowing.
It's also, I mean, Puck vs. Catz is about the weirdest matches, I think.
That's true. It's any match with Catz in it, you can't really predict what's going to happen. And Puck is pretty non-standard in his own right, so it's very hard to judge.